Welcome to the very first episode of the Fearless Fictioneering League, where the writing doesn't have to be good, but it must be fun. Now, you probably have a bunch of questions for me, like, what is fictioneering? Who are you? What is the point of this podcast? Can I become a fictioneer? And maybe even, how did I get here? I'm going to answer all of these questions, and then we'll finish with our very first writing prompt, so you can begin your fictioneering journey. So first up, who am I? I'm Annie Penn. I'm not a famous writer. I'm not a skilled writer, but I am an enthusiastic writer. Or maybe I should say I was an enthusiastic writer. Unfortunately, I became too concerned with being published and celebrated, and I lost my love of writing. In fact, I've barely written in a couple years. So what's the point of this podcast? It's very simple. I want to help reignite the love of writing for writers who got caught up in the world of expectations and overwhelm, writers that are just like me. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be published and perfect and immediately successful, and it smothers out the joy of the craft, and we stop writing. So I want to foster a renewed, or maybe even a newly awakened love of writing. I'm not going to be making episodes like 5 tips to become published fast or 10 things you need to know before you start writing your first novel. I'm not going to do that. I want to make episodes that encourage playful writing. I want to help you explore new ideas or challenge you to experiment and step outside of your comfort zone. And I also, selfishly, want to find joy in writing again too. Okay, so we've got that all sorted out, but what is a fictioneer? And I'm going to be honest, I think this word was created to make serious, self-important writers feel good about themselves. I think it was originally a concept to belittle people, but I want to embrace the term and make it something to aspire to. A general Google search says, and I quote, "A fictioneer is a writer of fiction, especially a prolific one, whose work is considered to be of mediocre or low quality. While it can sometimes be used neutrally or describe any fiction writer, the term often carries a critical or dismissive connotation, particularly when referring to writers who produce a large volume of lowbrow or mass-market genre fiction." A bit long-winded, I prefer Merriam-Webster's definition. It says much more succinctly, one who writes fiction, especially in quantity and without high standards. I think it's a much kinder definition. So as fictioneers, we are not going to try to be good. We aren't going to edit, and we are going to ignore expectations. What we write together will not be published, but it will help us rediscover the thrill of writing and hopefully help us grow as writers. Something we can't do if we're too hard on ourselves and we never write. How do you become a fictioneer? It's very simple. You write. You write a lot. You allow yourself to be terrible. You focus on the joy of the craft. Then if something works, if it resonates with you, if you stumbled across an idea you can't ignore, explore it. I want you to think of the writing prompts I give you as a warm-up to the projects you're more passionate about. You're loosening up, you're having fun, you're stretching out those writing muscles. It might look terrible, but who cares? No one is ever going to see it. The point is just to write. And finally, how did you end up here? Some people are just born lucky, I guess. Now this is the point in the podcast where I show you a little affiliate ad because I'm broke and I want to make more episodes of this podcast. So stick with me. Today I'm highlighting The Emotion Thesaurus by Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi. So let me just read you the blurb real quick. One of the biggest struggles for writers is how to convey emotion to readers in a unique and compelling way. When showing our characters' feelings, we often use the first idea that comes to mind, and they end up smiling, nodding, and frowning too much. So the Emotion Thesaurus is going to help you dive deeper into those big feelings. So I'm just going to take anger as an example. It gives a brief description, and then it's going to give you physical signals and behaviors, like flaring nostrils, sweating, holding elbows wide from the body, legs that are planted wide, baring one's teeth, repetitive sharp gestures, that sort of thing. The list goes on. And then it moves on to internal sensations, like a speeding pulse, a pounding heartbeat, a mental response, like irritability or poor listening skills, jumping to conclusions, that sort of thing. There's a lot of examples here. Then the next little category is acute or long-term responses for this emotion. So this is a feeling that is felt for a long time after that first initial spark of anger. So it would be like damaging one's own property, a long recovery time from surgeries and accidents and other trauma, road rage, taking anger out on someone else. And then the next category is signs that this emotion is being suppressed, which is such a good category, a good thing to know about these emotions, because often your character doesn't want to signal these emotions to the people around them, but you want your reader to feel these emotions. So signs that the emotion is being suppressed: false smiles, passive-aggressive comments, avoiding eye contact, and the list goes on and on. So this is just such a valuable resource for writers, especially when you know what your character is feeling, but you're having a little bit of a harder time explaining what they're feeling. So check it out. Highly recommend it. If you'd like to add this wonderful resource to your library, check out the link in the description of this video or look in the pinned comment. I also want to share Javvy protein coffee because I am intrigued. I've been seeing it all over my Instagram feed and I need someone to tell me if it's good or not. It sounds like a great way to start the day, and I'm personally interested in the tiramisu and the hazelnut flavors. So I'm just going to leave a link for Javvy in the video description and the pinned comment, just in case you're as curious as I am. So a great big thank you to anyone who shops through my affiliate links. Thank you for supporting this podcast. Now let's get ready for the story prompt. Close your eyes, if you can. Take a deep breath and let it out. Relax all your muscles and empty your mind. I want you to think about the source of your creativity, the thing or impulse that makes you want to write. Imagine it's not a vague, formless thing in your mind, but something with weight and substance. Imagine it is a living thing that is outside of your body. What does your creative source look like? Maybe it looks exactly like you, but it can fit in the palm of your hand. It doesn't have to be human. Maybe it's a cat or a bear. I'm going to give you a few seconds to really picture it. Make it solid and give it texture. Now, how does your creative source act? How does it feel? Is it timid or bold? Does it hide from you? Does it demand your attention? Maybe it's been locked up and it feels numb and alone. Or it packed its bags and went on vacation without you. And maybe if you're a new writer, you're just meeting your creative source for the first time. I want you to write about an interaction with your creative source. You have something immensely important to tell it. Where do you find it? What does it look like? How does it behave? And what do you need to tell it? Amateur Fictioneers, write for at least 30 minutes. Fearless Fictioneers, leave a comment down below. Give us a brief summary of your writer or what you want to tell it, or leave a comment about an idea or feeling that came up while you were listening to the writing prompt. Then write for as long as it takes. And everybody, remember to have fun with it. So thank you for joining me today, brand new Fictioneers. I'm so glad we met, and I can't wait to talk to you again next week. Same day, same channel, same time.